Hey, friends. Andy Kennedy here with 60 Days of Toxic Truths and just waiting on our Instagram live to catch up with us. And we will go ahead. There we go. Go ahead and get started. So, I'm really bummed. Today I was going to talk about the Boycott app, and I went down the rabbit hole this morning, and it is no longer an app, which, as happens with apps that are not funded or not supported or whatever, right? So that's a bummer. But I still have some backup plan on that because I still want to talk about buying ethically. So we're talking about the home. This is 60 Days of Toxic Truths for those who are just starting to follow us. And this is day 44. And I first heard about the Boycott app, and that's spelled Buycott. I'm going to pull it up here actually and share my screen. So hopefully you can see that. This is what the app looked like. And I believe it may still be an option on the App Store on Apple. Because it came up and it came up that I could buy it. So maybe if you're an Apple user, check that out and let me know. But on Android, it's not coming up. And when I first heard about this app, I was working at the Sustainability Council in Steamboat. Carol turned me on to it. She is a longtime friend, probably 10 years. We've known each other now, more than that, I think, and maybe 15. And she was our zero waste coordinator for the program and showed us that, this app, you could scan a product and show, the app would show, excuse me, where that product was formulated with what company, what companies were in their tier, right? So what companies were maybe owned it, mother companies, right? And then what owned that and what owned that. And it was really fascinating because you could go down that rabbit hole of like, oh, wow, yeah, this particular company like Disney owns 9/10 of the world, right? And so yesterday, what I talked about was, I used to religiously use the Burt's Bees products, loved them. And then somewhere around 2015, I think might have been a little bit later than that, but I think it was about 10 years ago that Clorox, which isn't even a mother company, I don't think. I think Disney probably owns that. But Clorox bought Burt's Bees. And so does that affect the integrity of the product? Absolutely. It's no longer made small batch. Well, at that point, it probably hadn't been made small batch for a while. It's no longer small batch. Where are they sourcing their ingredients? Now, suddenly their supply chain comes from a big mother company who can, who has buying power, right? So sometimes it's a good thing if it's a company like Natural Grocers and, they buy it and they have good buying power, but they also have good integrity. Then the product, may not change its integrity, may not change its ingredient list. But unfortunately, a lot of the time that does happen. And so let me also, I think if I go to this screen, I can show you the app. So, the website. So I went to the website, Buycott.com, Buycott. And it's got campaigns and Shop Smart and Speak Up. But when I click on it, it just takes me to the App Store and it says, no longer valid. So I started to look for other apps that may be in alignment with that. So in the Google Play Store, these are just some examples of apps that you can download to kind of make sure that the company, the product, whatever it is that in your ethical values, like what you want in a company, right? Whether you want that company to be zero waste and focused on sustainability, whether you want that company to be focused on ingredient lists, sourcing, fair trade, organic, right? So you can start looking for apps that fit into those ethical categories. So, of course, I look up zero waste products, and here are a couple of things that come up. This zero waste goals, become eco. And I always look, when I'm looking at apps, I always look, well, in here, there's a warning on that one as well, that it's not available for a later version of Android, right? But I always look at the images before I download it. And then I'll go look at reviews as well. And sometimes it'll say clunky, too many ads, right? Whatever. So look at that, be discerning. I think most of us know to do that now after we've had these in the app world. But this one's a good one. It's got 10 million downloads. It's got high ratings, and it's very colorful, and it's about food waste. And so then I think I have a couple over here too. This is just what happened to boycott. Here we go. So food check. This one is all about where that food has come from. I love that it says uncover food toxins. Is this food rating healthy? Is it vegan? Is it gluten-free? So that's a cool app, food check. So that one's just specific around food. And then this one came up too. I think this is the one I made download because it's both food and body products. And if you're following along, that's what we talked about. Our first 2 weeks were food or nutrition in general, and our second 2 weeks were body products. So you can scan the product. So I love that. Scan food and personal care products to receive a rating about the healthiness. Now, also you can go to ewg.org. You can scan products through EWG, and EWG might have an app, but it definitely has a website. And then this was another one I saw, boycott products. Where is it made? So you can say, is this made in the US? And it really just focuses on the country of origin. And I think that's it. Yeah. So, okay. So, focusing on where a product comes from, what its ingredients are, it's nice to have an app for that, because then it diligently does a lot of those things for you. So I'm going to keep looking on that, and anything that I find and all of those images, I'm going to go ahead and put in the Facebook group. So we have that. But I think it's very important to really start thinking about buying ethically for your home, for yourself, because of course that means that it's sourced well, it's traveled not very far, right? Because even if something is made, in Canada, but I can find a similar product here that's made in the US, I'm going to buy that because I don't want to pay for that transportation cost. That's not just a cost. It's also, a cost to the earth, right? The petroleum use, or, a whole time, truckloads, trucking hours, right? All of that stuff. So I think it's important to know where products are made, to try and buy as local as you can. So not for me, even buying something that's made in California. If I can find a company that makes something very similar that for instance, I'm talking about Burt's Bees, right? So lip balm, cuticle cream, salves. The reason actually that I started making the green cream was because Clorox bought Burt's Bees. And I used to buy their little green tin. It was called, they probably still make it. It's a comfrey salve, and it's called Dr. Burt's green cream or green salve or something like that. And it's a green tin. I didn't want the Clorox sourced ingredients in that product anymore, on my lips, next to my mouth, or, on a wound, right? An open wound. So I was, I think I organized a workshop with one of our local herbalists, had her teach us how to make it, and that kickstarted 3 or 4 of us into growing our own comfrey and making our own salve. So, one small thing like that can lead to another. And it's just important. I feel like it's a very important thing to notice. If you can buy something local, buy something sourced from a local farm, from a local vendor, support a mom working at home, or, a homestead, and where the beeswax is coming from, and where the comfrey is grown, and it's not sprayed. Small batch, for me, small batch is always more valuable than commercially made. So that's today's topic. As always, thanks for watching. If you've noticed, we have a new webcam. It's my phone that we're now streaming on, so it's a lot brighter. You can see this background. We're coming to you live from Florida for the next 5 days or so, 4 days or so, and we'll be here tomorrow. And tomorrow, I actually might punt on the topic and start talking about zero waste as well, because this whole next week while I'm not home and I can't show you the products that we're using out of our own home, about more overarching topics like this, buying ethically and zero waste and stuff, and focusing on those topics on your home and how to dip your toe into that that topic without feeling overwhelmed. So always join the group if you want extra resources, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.